Hi, we're going to start right in on our box, but before we do, I know I said we're going to start. I'll give you the measurements, and then also I wanted to remind you that on our Craftology box projects, if you are not, maybe this project doesn't meet your needs or it just wasn't your style, but you loved the paper, we have two other designers, Lori of LMS Creations and also Laura Presley Wright. And they will be doing projects also on their YouTube channel, so you get lots of choices. And then our Craftology box kits are not about being like a step above in the projects. They are about fun projects that if you are just learning or you need a quick gift, and well, not really a quick gift, this is going to take a little while, but it's sure a fun one, then you're going to be able to put this together, or maybe you just want to keep it for yourself. And so that's what our Craftology project kit is about, and it comes out every other month. And so whether you're a beginner or you're experienced and you can just sit down and really make this, I've seen some experienced beginners take these projects and just blow them out of the woods. Let me tell you, they're just gorgeous. But it's about learning some new techniques also. And so this is another technique, and I've used it a couple of times in other boxes. It's a great way to get a box when you don't have a lot of time or you want the box, but you aren't great with chipboard. If you're not super good with chipboard, which I can understand because it doesn't always come out straight, then this is for you. So you want one piece of cardstock that is going to be 7 inches by 8 5/8. Excuse me. 2 pieces at 11 1/2. I have scored one. And I'm still, fighting that cough. 11 1/2 by 8 3/4. We're going to start on the 11 1/2 inch side. We're going to score it 2 1/4. We're going to turn to the 8 3/4 inch side. Score it 1 1/2. Back to our 11 1/2 inch side at 3/4 of an inch, and to the 8 3/4 inch side, we're going to score it 1/2 inch. Oops. Now, when we put this together, you want to have your chipboard, and now you can cut. You'll get all of these pieces out of the 2 pieces of lightweight chipboard, but you do want to cut, when you're cutting this, take your 12 by 12 chipboard, okay, and cut it at your 6 3/8 of an inch side, so you have a 12-inch piece left from both, and that's where you're going to get these pieces from, because you need to cut 2 pieces that are 6 3/8 by 8 3/8. Then you need 2 that are 6 3/8 long by 2 1/8 wide. They're going on the sides to strengthen the inside. Then you need an 8 3/8 by 2 1/8. A 2 inch by 8 3/8 of an inch. These are going to be for also the lid. And a 3 inch by 8 3/8. We may have to trim some, but that's a-okay. Now, in your kit, what did I do with those? Here. So you have these 4 sheets left. You have 2 of the whites. Do they name theirs Georgia? That one says Georgia and Hannah. Okay, they do. You have 2 of the white and 2 of the black. And I'm going to be putting the black on the outside and this white in the inside, or you can do the flowers. But we'll cut these in a minute. I'll show you. So we're going to start with our black bigger pieces that we just scored. See this corner here? We're going to cut this completely out. Now on this side, I'm just going to angle that like so. Right here at this top, just angle there. angle to both sides. Angle the ends. We'll do the same thing right here. So just make an angle to the left and an angle to the right of your score line. Cut it right out. Straight up. And on the little tab, we're going to angle on this little tab side. Don't ever angle this straight bottom because you want the bottom to remain straight. We'll repeat the same thing. Okay, we'll start. Doesn't matter which one. We're going to go ahead and furnish both of them. Finish up all those score lines. Okay, these we may have to do by hand. This, the reason I did the top is we're going to cover the top of our chipboard so that it's hidden underneath there. We have a nice strong box, but the chipboard is hidden. And then when we go to put this together, see, that'll just be down. There's no chipboard. Well, there kind of is. Well, I'll show you when we get to there. Okay. And your chipboard, you'll notice, is a little bit bigger. A little bit smaller. And that's what we want. When that bends over. And the reason I made it a hair smaller is because I want to be able to hide the chipboard also, my cardstock. And that way, with the chipboard being a little smaller, our cardstock will be a little bit wider and a little bit longer, and it will hide that. I have 3 snoring dogs down here. Let's move to this one. Now my chipboard is more at the top than it is at the bottom. And some of that is so that we could get both pieces out of our 12-inch side, but it's you don't have to have that the exact same size. Now, I like to fold this under after we get our paper on. But, I mean, I like to fold this over, then put the paper on top, because then it hides the edge of the cardstock. And there is going to be a little gap there, which is just fine. And if you are making this and you don't have the kit, you can use heavy chipboard. Is a little bit too heavy when you construct it this way. It can be done, or you can use your cereal box. You don't want to fold that up. That's the bottom of our box. Now we want to cut our matting for the inside. And the main thing is, let me show you, we're going to be putting these tabs on the outside because you can hide them. And I like the way it just holds the box better, I think. So it's going on the outside. And so we do want to put our chipboard. We're going to be constructing it like so. We're going to go ahead and put our chipboard pieces on the inside also of our box. And we're going to cut the matting. And it should be the same as that. And also, one thing I want to show you. Oh, you know, we do need to take that off. I don't know why. Right here. Sorry, we're going to take that off, and then we're going to miter that corner. So, basically, just miter that corner right there. I don't know why I decided to leave that on, but that's okay. So what you have is your 2 1/4 inch piece. Then you have your 3/4 of an inch tab there. Wow, that really grabbed a hold tonight. I have the heat going next to me. Okay. Go ahead and fold that tab over. And do the same on the second piece. You'll see me with chipboard burnishing quite a bit, especially on my folds. I like a really nice square edge. Now I'm going to turn this over for the matting size, because it's going to be just a hair different than our chipboard pieces were. Not a lot, but now we're working with an 8 1/2 inch piece, so 8 3/8 by 6 5/8. And we want to go ahead, I'm going to write that down, 8 3/8 by 6 5/8. Okay. So I'm going to cut two. The black's going to be the outside for me, and this is going to be the inside. So you'll need all 4 pieces, of course, and then I'll tell you what the sides are. So let's go ahead and cut these down first at 6 5/8, and the same for your inside. Check the fit, perfect. And then for the inside, cut your 6 5/8 first. Excuse me. Gather our pieces. We will be using them. And then also, one thing we do not want to do, you have to set that aside, we'll mount the insides. Well, no, I can do the inside. It's one of the black ones. We do not want to mount the black until we get the, we don't want to mount any of it till we get our cover made. So we're going to go ahead and ink these. I know, I almost used the white floral for the inside. And black floral for the outside. It's just so pretty. But we're going to go plaid inside. Well, I am. You might be doing yours. You might even do yours with the green and the white flowers on the inside. Always fun to see the different variations of what everyone makes. Okay. Little plastic lid. It's here somewhere. And we have to have our magnet, so we're not going to do anything else except for, let's do the inside. And you'll notice how that just goes over so you don't see the edges. And then from those little pieces, we're going to cut 2 1/8 by 6 5/8. And this should already be 6 5/8. Sometimes you have to kind of rough cut on that edge. Okay, so I need 2 for the inside at 2 1/8, and you should have 2 of these from when you cut each piece. There it is. It's okay. Oh, let's go ahead and do the same for the 2. You have the 2 small pieces left. And they are 2 1/8. I think I found my lid. or you can mix and match. Use your plaids and your florals. Now we'll need one for the bottom. And we'll be cutting those from our longer strips in just a moment. I didn't need this one. So let's go ahead and put these in. Take my tip off since we're working on a wider space. Now it should hang lower, of course, and it should go just a little, whoops, more on your edge here to hide that chipboard. And I just take my foam folder and press it down, kind of like sandwiching it, basically. I'm really sorry you have to listen to that, but the tutorial must go on. We need to get this done. Okay. I like the plaid. And let's repeat with these two. That doesn't usually happen where it's actually matching up. Okay, what happens here is eventually this will go on the inside. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to put this together. So this is going to lay like so. Oh, I'm going to miter that just a little deeper. There we go. So we just put these on top. I will grab my clothespins for this, and in just a minute, I want to show you how this is going to go together. It's going to go together like so. And then this one is going to fold this way. And then the nice thing is while it is flat, we're going to be able to do our magnet because we have to put our flap on. But we don't want to mess up and put the matting on first. So let's just set this aside for a moment because we want to grab that 7-inch piece. It may have to be adjusted just a little bit, and that always happens with paper crafts. Oh, on the 7-inch side, let me find my scoring. I don't know what I did with it, so we're going to use my sample. Okay. 1 1/2. 3 3/4. 1 1/2 and 3 3/4. Now, this is kind of tricky with our lid. Not real tricky. Fold your sides in. And then my 1 inch, just put it back here. And what you want to do is match it, see, to the sides. And I knew that we may have to do a little adjusting, but I did not want to cut it too short to begin with. So, looks like I need to take off a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm just going to put it in my cutter. And if you are using the Fiskars, you just put it so it's inside of the crevice there. Take off a tiny bit. Then we're going to check it again. Now the thing here is you want it to be just slightly wider. And if it is, you're good to go. And I do this because my Fiskars, see, it doesn't matter if it's a new blade or not. We always get that kind of raised edge. So this is our 1 1/2 inch. This is our 3 inch. We're going to miter this in like 90 degrees. Just take it way in. All burnished, and I am rounding the corners. You can do a decorative corner. You can do a decorative punch all the way across the front if you like. I made it wide for that reason. Now, it doesn't matter basically which one is the front, which one's the back, because they're about the same. But we want to go ahead and mat. Well, let's put it on first. Then we will mat. And like I mentioned, it's going to be a hair bigger. What we're going to do is center it on the back, basically, so that our hinge is even with this top. Okay, a couple ways. If you want, you can just fold it over and turn this over. Like so. Now go ahead and fold it down. And it should, when you fold this back, it should just be even with everything. If for some reason it's not, you can trim a little more off, but you should be just fine with the measurements that I gave you. And I'm just going to lay it down with the matting down. Take your time. We're not in a hurry to figure out where you want it. And what I'm doing is just burnishing it up against that chipboard. There we go. It's just a teeny tiny gusset that you need to go over the chipboard. That will be hidden with our paper when we mat it. Go ahead and clean up this side. Then I do fold it over again. Burnish it so that it's nice and square. And we know we need a magnet. Oh my goodness. Well, let's take the lid off. That might help. And this one I've used for something else, so I need to grab just a piece of card, score tape. Well, that's been into something. Basically center it, thumb width down. And because I've already used that and tried to take that backing off, I'll just use some score tape there. Okay, 2 1/4 inch side, 3 3/4 inch side. We know that's going to lay there. So go ahead and fold that over. Line that up at the top. And we can't quite do that yet. Let's set him aside. Let's go ahead and mat and get this all done up, and then we'll have to put it more square because we need it to come over that 2 1/4 inch or 2 1/2 inch space. So let's go ahead and do the same thing we did before, our chipboard. Now it's totally up to you if you want chipboard on this flat. You really don't have to have it, but if you want it, then we'll have to move the magnet, and that's okay. You don't have to have a piece of chipboard there unless you want to. And since I do want to, it's still going to be fine. It's still going to be super strong, trust me. So the chipboard to fit on the inside of here is 3 inches by 8 3/8. And see, there's plenty of room around the edge for our matting. And then we will put the magnet on top of the chipboard, because there's just no way under the chipboard and then under your matting that it will be strong enough. So for this piece, then you want 2 pieces that are 3 1/8. And mine's going to be about 8 3/8. I may have to trim it just a hair, but that's okay. Then we're going to center the magnet. And then for the center right here, I'm going to trim mine just a hair. I cut mine at 2 1/8, but I'm going to cut it down to 2 inches by 8 3/8. down. So see, you don't want it to fit perfect. You need to have some space there for your matting, because now my matting will be the 2 1/8. By 8, actually I'll cut it just a hair long, I mean just a hair longer than 8 3/8 to cover those ends. Three 1/8. It's going to be the matting for there. 2 1/8. Let's go. I'll go ahead and go with 8 3/8. So that's for my outside, and oops, for the inside, you'll have 2 of these pieces left. We'll cut them to 8 3/8. Well, I'm going to go just a hair over. Yes, go a hair over. And our first one is a 3 1/8 again. I don't know if we'll make it here, but oh, we will. I love it when that happens. Oh, there we go. Yeah, go ahead and paint these edges. And I'm still battling this with my sponge. I'm making a mess everywhere. Now, don't look at the chipboard. Look at your score mark here, and that's where you want to line it up. And then I have to just work around that magnet for a second. What this is doing is just kind of folding that cardstock over the edge of chipboard. And again, checking the magnets. Okay, fold this over again because it's become stiffer. And there we go. Now the back side, we can go ahead and mat. We still have a magnet that needs to go on the front, so we don't want to mat that until that's all together. And as you can see, the hinge is hidden. With that edge all sealed, then you can go ahead. If you're using just one of the plastic scrapers, you'll be able to get that all nice and neat. Okay, let's grab our pieces. And what we're going to do is put this together. So I'm just laying the top on. You have 3/4 on this side, and then your bigger one here. Turn it this way so I can see. You want to line it up so that score line on the bottom is even. And it's going to go right there. So you can do it either way that is easier for you. And this might be the easiest way. Add your adhesive. Now you want to line it up. There we go. Fold that over. Then I'll go ahead and take, let's see if I managed to get anything cut here. I did. So we'll take and put one of the side pieces down. We will get the lid done also. Now when we, whoops, hit the camera. Now when we go to do this side, see, we'll still be able to do our lid. So we're going to go ahead, and what you're going to do now is just fold this over. And it should line right up to where your 3/4 of an inch flap needs to go. Do some burnishing here. Okay. Now you can see how we can bring this over. even before we have the bottom done, and get that magnet placement on there. Okay. Hold my bottom in just for a second so I can stand it up. So I'm going to stand it up. I've taken that off my magnet, the backing. There we are. And let's just double check. See, and the whole idea is that this was like the old-fashioned mailbox. Okay. I can flatten this and add the top piece. And it just makes it so much easier to match. Well, I guess I didn't cut that length, did I? 8 3/8. Let me try this one again. Okay. No, I think I need to take just a hair off. Let's see here. No, much better. Oh, well, I really overdid it on the glue there. Do you ever have those days when sometimes you just can't use glue? Well, it's time to put my chip back on. It's mostly for the chipboard. And we'll get the sides on now. Okay, that never happens. I am never able to kind of keep the pattern going here. First time for everything. Yay, okay. Now let's lay this flat again. So we have the 2 1/8, and we just need to cut one of our pieces down by 8 3/8. So 3 1/8. And 2 1/8. Sometimes that happens with your whiskers and it looks really fuzzy. Oh, how about I cut those corners first? Or round off the corners. And the box was made so if you want to turn this into the look of a purse, then you can definitely put a handle on here. So you would just put your handle here on your sides. Okay, let's do the bottom. Now, one thing about the bottom, I want to show you something. That was a weird noise. I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, and I want to burnish these flaps. Did you feel how stiff they were? Yeah. I'm going to fold them inside for just a second. It just makes them so much easier to work with, because what we're going to have to do is put our hand down through, which is not a problem, and we'll put that last piece of chipboard that's going to go on the inside. So one thing that you can also do right now is you can go ahead and add your chipboard now. We've already glued, I mean, we haven't glued it, no, but we've already basically stuck things up together. Not stuck them, we put them together just by burnishing it. So I'm going to take my adhesive, then we will cut our piece that's going to go down on the inside. Just going to let it fall. And you can take your bone folder, or look at this, just go get yourself a dowel. One of our members made me this, and then she put on the bottom, that's just from your chairs. Yes, and so you can stick them on. You just pick them up at what's it called, Lowe's, or gosh, anywhere. They're your chair protector pads. You can make these sticks longer. Isn't that cool? Now we're going to turn this upside down, and all we have to do now is add glue to this flap. Pretty cool. No holding anything together. Let's just make sure everything's straight. If it's not, go ahead. So we're going to cover this with paper and angle those edges. Turn this back over. Bone folder, or get your husband to make you one of these. This is a 1-inch dowel, and she cut this one to be 7.5, but I'm going to actually get my husband to cut me one that is like 12 inches. Not 12 inches, 10 inches. Love it. The best tool ever. Now we just want to put an inside piece. And it's 8 3/8 again, and it's going to be 2 1/8. I'm going to use the black. And you can also put feet. You can put feet on this. Oh, we need to cut 2 of these. Sorry. One for the inside. One for the outside. Outside. Oh, this darn color. If we're down inside, there is my last piece. I'm going to cut the 2 1/8 first. And it moved. There we go. And then I'll cut my length. And yes, you could have covered the chipboard first. Either way, you can cover it, then drop it in, and actually it does save you this step. But this isn't too hard. I know you guys are all saying, I want one of those. I'm sure she just E6000. No, you know what? It comes sticky. Just stick a dot of E6000 on there. But again, you can change it. You could put one on both ends. Fabulous tool. And see, now you have a nice sturdy box. We didn't have to go through the trouble of wrapping our chipboard. We didn't have to use construction strips. And for me, that leaves out a lot of tears and frustration. Because I don't always get things perfectly straight, and you kind of have to with your chipboard. Okay. Now, when putting in your album, because of the flowers, you do need to just lift up a little bit. Beautiful fit. Little room there for expansion. You shouldn't need too much. Now we get to decorate. We're going to start with the last 3 flowers that you have left. Remember, flowers can vary. They may not look exactly like mine. It just, they were kind of they were done random. Okay, so you'll have the 3 left. And they may not be the same as on your album, but they are the same print, just not the same style. Gluing those together just like before. And so I'm kind of going more green here on our box. So I'm going to add a large green dot. Now I took from the chipboards the 2 olive branches, Quality Company and Move. Gather is from your ephemera pack. Sweet and Simple is also from your ephemera pack. Our cow and our floral, our chipboards. We have to have those. And we want the word home. So I'm going to start with Daisy, our cow. Just lay that flower there just to get my... And I'm not going to quite put her down because I want Sweet and Simple. Slide under with her. Just open that so we can really burnish that. Well, since we have this kind of flat home, I'm putting on the top. So I lay my box like so, so I can get that on there and center the word home. Oh, we have a doggy scratching. Kind of on Betsy's butt there. And then I'm taking the floral to add some color here in the corner. Leave up there. Leaf up there. Whoops, away though, so it will, there we go, open. These are on the very bottom of that one ephemera sheet. And yeah, see, if the sticky wants to come off, that's okay. A lot of times, of course, this was down pretty good. I usually do take the sticky off if it wants to come off, because then that way it's not going to come off after you put it on your project. It's already there. But if it's down, I just leave it. So gather. Remember, gather is in the ephemera. So this is also going to be just a really nice decorative piece that I'm going to have upstairs. And when they're visiting, because my kitchen and whole dining room and living room is open, so it can be sitting there, and I'm going to have farm pictures from when I grew up in here. That way kids, my kids, grandkids can just look at it, and it's matching my upstairs colors, which are now the grays, the whites, and the blacks, and then I use color for accents. And it's been really fun because just like this, you add some green to brighten it up. You could even add red with this. I was going to try an accent with the green. I mean, with the, sage green. I could not find an accent paper. So this one's going so it looks like it's like in the middle of that flower. Just to kind of give that illusion. And then you can put feet because, see, we don't have any moving parts there. We have home on the top, which totally matches the decor in my house. Actually, this will really go good anywhere. And I love this. One thing that I was thinking about with this is to take my markers or colored pencils and to color in the states I've been. They're really little, but how cute is that to do something like that? And you have a few pieces in your ephemera left, so if you do want to put these on the back, oops, I want to get this one. It's just down here at the bottom, of course, and I can't get a hold of it. There. I do want this because I'm going to write the date 2019 when I created this, and I'm just taking my ephemera card. So these leftover ephemera cards I'm going to use in the album in the pockets because they're nice size along with the other cards that we used. Actually, I'll put this right down here. It'll be easier to write on. I'm going to put today's date, well, not today's date, but 2019 inside of there. Now I want to add, some more of these dots because I want to add some shiny stuff. So I'm going to take the black, well, we're not going to take that one. I have no idea where it went. Okay, I'm usually better than this at doing this. Do this. There we go. Then I'll get my medium green. All right. What happens is they get worn down and then they don't work anymore for me. A little big, but you know what? It adds color. And that wants to become a permanent part of me. All right, let's just, there you go. I'll throw you over there. I should have looked first. I don't have enough of the light ones, so I'll go dark. Actually, see if I can get that off. Took some of the paper, but now I can do a dark one and a lighter one. Okay, let's grab our album. Make sure everything's down. We've got a nice sturdy box. Just make sure you push your flowers in. Seen and sitting, you can sit it on the table. It can be laying on the table. It can be sitting in a really cute box on your table. Like I have this wooden crate box. And you can add anything more, of course, that you like to the sides. You have a few extra. We do have some lettering still. And, of course, I thought this was really cute. I almost used this, but there just was nowhere. To put it. And definitely add that to the side. That's a good place, actually. Pennants. I'm seeing these pennants coming back in style in so many paper lines. That's just from our chipboard. Again, a place to just jot down the dates. And, you know, I couldn't quite fit him in, but that's okay. We have some leftovers now. Do some cute cards. And on this second piece, you still have family. You have a few more things if you'd like to use them. And just to put the sides kind of together, since I already put one on that side, we'll add the larger olive leaf. Right there. And one last thing. Have to add the heart. Even though it's black, but it looks kind of monochrome, kind of cool. And you have two of those on your chipboard. So you still have a few things left that you can use for cards, to decorate more of the inside if you like. But I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, totally different. And I really wanted to do something black and white. Just didn't know what to do, what to use. And we found it. So I hope you enjoy this month's Craftology for March Craftology Project Kit. And then we will be debuting about the 20th of April, the next Craftology for May. So they come out every other month. They came out January, then we have March, May, July. Already that's in the planning. That's going to be a super fun one. September and November, because November is our Christmas one, and you can pick and decide which boxes you want. They're not a subscription, and so you do want to grab them, though. There's a limited amount each month, and it comes with the pre-cut chipboard, and the only thing you'll be cutting is this chipboard that comes with your kit for the box. Thanks, and I can't wait to see all your finished projects. Join us on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook, and we also have a social group on Facebook where you can post or just have all that crafty talk you want to have on Facebook. But on Scrapbookers is where you can show us your finished projects. And also, we have a Monday night tutorial live every week. So thank you again, and I'll see you on our next Craftology Box project.